Hi, welcome to the Posted Podcast. This is the 18th episode, I think. And I'm here with my co hosts, Andy, Eric, and Nick. And
Hello.
we have a special guest this time,
For the second
Neely.
time. Yay.
I am back
Redemption
for the
arc.
second time.
Neil, you
Redemption
got
arc.
you got lucky because we were tempted never to invite you again.
It came at very short notice. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
to be here today. We're doing it.
It's really hard to understand what you're saying, Neil, but agree.
My connection may be a little bit bad.
What
so
happened?
I don't know really, but
Is it raining?
it may be.
No wonder.
Either way, Daniel, continue our.
Right, so today we are going to be talking about stan culture and probably roasting every fan base that we come across today.
Okay,
So
I will start off with
yeah.
definition, Okay, so the definition of stan is an overzealous or obsessive fan of a particular celebrity. And so our example for this, we were talking about this a little earlier, was the song "Stan" by Eminem, where basically the guy Stan and his girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend, he's abusive towards her because he's so obsessed with Eminem and she doesn't understand him. And then at the end, he ends up killing himself and her while drunk driving because Eminem isn't responding to him. So that's how obsessive he actually was in the end, and it's a good song, but it's really messed up.
Like most Eminem songs, but you know.
Yeah. But I mean, the double entendres, Jesus.
That's the beauty of it.
Okay, so for Daniel, for our first Stan title.
Should we talk about like what the main ones we think are?
Okay, well, I was talking about this earlier as well. As there are in the Greek mythology, there are the big three: Greek, Zeus, and Hades. We're going to be talking about Minecraft, anime, and K-pop.
Alright, so the one we know the most probably gonna be Minecraft. So let's roast Minecraft Stan.
Dream.
So I mean, the biggest one is most likely Dream Stans.
Yeah.
Mm.
I gotta say, like, I like Dream, but his fan base is cringy, and his songs are too.
But that's because like his fan base is mainly just like prepubescent children.
Yeah, but like, no, it's like they all feel like they're like hiding behind a mask, and they all have like agoraphobia or whatever, and they all feel
that's
like
what the point of the mask is. Like...
Sorry if any of you if anyone listens and they're like this, you'll get over it eventually, hopefully. Because I mean, I think all of us have been through a phase where we found nowadays we find our past self cringy because of what we did back then, right?
Oh, definitely.
I think it's just a natural thing. You always look back and be like, "Ew, cringe."
Yeah, you did something embarrassing. You were going through a phase where you're like dark and edgy, or something that was like really cringy, and now you're like, oh god. Or you never get over it. Either way. But yeah, I think Dream's cool. Like, I think his clutching and all that stuff's cool. He can be a little cocky sometimes. I don't like the fact that he lied about him cheating in certain Minecraft aspects. But yeah.
Did he actually cheat though, or like?
Yes, he did actually.
All he did was one of the things he did I know is increase the chances of ender pearls.
But the issue, so I don't have an issue with that. But the issue with it is that he denied it for 3 months until a scientist, I think it's from Caltech or NASA or something, proved that he had a 1 out of 5 trillion chance of getting a spawn rate that good. And yeah, basically it all unfolded, and at the end he broke down and he said, I lied. And if he had just said that in the beginning, he said, I didn't actually post this chat run. I decided to just make it easier because I wanted to see what it was like to speed run and get a new challenge record. Then I could respect that. But the issue is he lied about it for like months.
No.
I didn't know about that. I know that there are like theories against that, but I never actually like heard him say it.
Yeah,
so
it got proven. He said at the end of the battle he finally admitted to it. I don't mind the fact that he increases spawn rates of other stuff during like Manhunt, because that makes sense. Finding another fortress in Minecraft nowadays is like really hard.
I'm pretty sure they scout for seeds.
That wouldn't shock me.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, okay, back to the fan base part.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's regular content, like the people who make like the Dream SMP like animations. And those are cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
those are
those
cool.
guys are cool.
Yeah, but like the
Like
ones that
like sadist or saddest.
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 I always read it as sadist, and it just
Mm.
I think those are like, you know, I guess that's what separates a fan and a stan.
I mean,
Like-
yeah, but those people aren't really. They're just fans. Are they
Hmm.
fans? Because they're not
Not sure.
obsessive. They're just making animations. It's also
Yeah.
their career.
It's true. That's what brought up this topic. Cause like I was reading a reading comprehension for my Mandarin, and it was just like blatantly saying that all fans are like obsessive and stuff. And I find that if I disagree with that, so I'm just trying to find the
I
balance.
disagree with that too. I think you can be a fan of someone without being obsessive over them.
Yeah, I think it's just like you can. There's a line between being a
Yeah.
fan and a stan, and it's hard to find realistically.
Although sometimes I do joke that I'm a stan of like Technoblade, for example, when I'm really not. I'm literally just a fan.
Look, you have no right to say anything. Your picture is like his elbow.
Yeah, that's kind of the legend. But I'm not. Okay, no,
Very
I'm
good
not
point.
obsessive over him. I'm not obsessive over him.
Yeah, that's true.
Did I print pictures of his elbow and give it to people during cafeteria time? Yeah, but I'm not
It
a
was a
stan.
joke.
It was just okay. There is a difference between comedy and actually being serious about that stuff. Because I was, Neil, you were there.
Oh my god! I
Yeah, you were
remember this. You
there.
gave it. You gave it to me. I remember this. Put it in my pocket.
join the elbow call.
Yeah.
We're reminiscing over old time. I actually remember this. Oh my god.
Yeah, like you can be fans of stuff without being obsessive over it, and that's healthy. But I think standing is unhealthy
Yeah.
because you're making their lives more important than your own.
Okay, then what we call like saddest fan or a stan realistically.
I'd
for
say
this.
fan
And
Mm,
because he's making a career out of that,
mm. So a stan would be
or
the
he or
the-
she. I don't know. Is it a she or
yeah,
he?
it's true.
He
I'm not
slash
sure.
she. He slash she is making a career out of this.
Make it command.
A command, yeah. I was thinking of Minecraft, and I was like commands.
so then what would a stan be? Is it the George not found people?
I guess it's the people who wear the mask and like like get this hoodie and then start singing the song in school. And
Okay.
I don't
Well,
want
it
to say
depends.
they're really cringy because I feel bad. But
Depends
then,
how far they go, usually. But then it's like even fans they can normally do that just for fun.
that's
but then-
true.
There are like some cases that are really problematic.
Yeah, like when you all you'd ever do is talk about that one person. You don't have anything else to talk about. Like you don't have anything to talk about yourself because you constantly just like watch YouTube videos of theirs or something. I think that becomes problematic. 'Cause you're
It's
just
kind of like, isn't that kind of like stalking?
No,
like
it
not
is like
stalking.
stalking. So I was watching this video, and apparently mothers do this when their like children leave. They watch family vlog channels, and they make the children's lives basically they become like a mother hen, and they're like telling the parents of the family vlog channels like, wait, you can do this. Oh no, are they hurt? Oh no, what's going on? It's like that's kind of standing, but then that's just kind of weird at the same time.
it's creepy, I'll be honest with you.
I think standing is kind of stalking in a way. Because you're literally following you like know so much about that person, and you kind of want your life to be like theirs in a way or involved in theirs.
Mm.
I don't know. There's a fine line between a fan and a stan.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna say about a fine line too. What the heck? So then do you think the Dream Not Found Dream Not Found fan base is what, a stan?
I think they're
A
just
stan?
cringy. I think they're just so cringy. Oh god, I cannot stand.
Nice
Let's
pun.
just real quick. Like, I feel like the main sort of catalyst of this is social media, or in more specifically TikTok, because like there's a lot of things on TikTok nowadays that we can just it's just overwhelming. I think.
I'm gonna do a quick translation of that. Basically, saying that the catalyst is TikTok and social media. Just in case anyone didn't understand that. Not you guys,
Oh, it's
audience. Yeah,
It's really
sorry.
that bad.
Sorry, it's cutting in between like seconds. Like
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
it's okay.
Oh.
I can translate it for you. I'll be your Google Translate.
But yeah, it's like the issues is like with social media, it's like good because you can like spread information quickly. But then the downsides, as we talked before, is that it can like lead to other harmful things. It's like people binge watch and then it compare that to theirs, and then like feel very depressed, and then actually like have no hope on oneself. And then
Yeah,
there's
I agree.
also the I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
Okay. Okay. So
Also, okay. What do you guys think of like fans visiting their like their creators' homes?
this is no.
YouTube
Just a
creators' homes.
no.
Is that
That's
a
just a
stan or
no.
a fan? Because I think that's a stan, and I think
That's a
that's
stand.
horrible.
That's a
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
horrible.
one of the
Wait.
worst things you can do to somebody.
Hmm.
Like, how would you like it if hundreds of people were standing outside your window staring in at you? Okay, Neely.
Mm.
We were just talking about how like, what do you think of people who like visit YouTube creators' homes?
That's weird. Why would you do that?
Agreed.
Okay, unless you're going to raid, unless you're going to like cause a riot outside Jake Paul's house, fine. but
Speaking of that, you guys remember the guy who played KSI's song down like that
oh yeah, that
for a
one.
whole hour
Yeah.
But didn't like
on the keyboard?
didn't something happen to him though?
He apparently died in an accident. I think he was
What?
filming a video. Like,
Yeah.
it was like a helicopter accident or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Helicopter accident.
I don't know. He was filming a video and he apparently died from it. This happened like last year.
Wait,
A
I'm
while back. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're talking about death. I just want to bring one thing up. What do you guys think of like those people who like, you know, the React videos like where they say calling it's like a dead YouTube creator at 3 a.m. or something?
It's so bad.
They're like, that's like
so
so
bad.
horrible. That's like
That's so
oh.
bad. Is it?
Yeah,
It is
bad.
basically like bad YouTube, but like but then the problem is this is targeted towards like kids and they're watching it because like
That's why they get so many views and so many likes.
wasn't there
Because
like
kids see the flashy stuff,
yeah.
they see all the edits on and it's just like, oh, ooh, I like this or whatever. Calling my dead grandma at 3 a.m. Jesus.
And then they just put like some fake ghosting and then they all get scared and they watch more or something.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there a channel called like Touch the Light or something?
Oh, there could have been. There's one where I know it's horrible, where he faked his girlfriend's death, and then it turned out that she was alive, but she just broke up with him, so he acted like she got killed. And Jesus, I don't know what his name. I don't want to bring up more drama around him. He already got enough drama, and giving more attention just is bad. So, anyways, yeah, there are horrible people out there. Compared to them, Stans actually look somewhat tame. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't like the idea of Stan.
I'm really
Reviewable,
like
but yeah.
do you think they're worse than Morgs basically?
The people who did the dead grandma at 3
Yeah,
a.m.,
yeah.
they're worse than Morgs.
Yeah,
They're-
I agree.
They are worse than Morgs. Like, Morgs is... I don't like Morgs at all, and he is horrible, and he is the most loudy, obnoxious person I can think of. But at least he's not saying
Oh my
people
gosh,
who are
sorry.
dead are back to life. Or acting like everything's fine and not, like, being respectful of that person.
I found the YouTube channel. What are you talking about?
Do you?
I'm J Station.
Yes, that's it!
J-Station.
J Station
I
is
like
the
that.
worst.
No, I think the one of his worst ones also was like making like a game potion, like that whatever series he did was so bad.
I remember there was this brothers channel that went into like, you know those 5-minute reacts, not 5-minute reacts, 5-minute crafts videos where they have the annoying voice or whatever.
Mhm.
There was this annoying brothers channel that went into that, and they like over sexualized their content for children, and it was so wrong. Like,
The thing is, when more people talk about them, then more people are gonna go watch the video, and they're getting views based on negative things.
yeah, and some people actually like that. Like they do stuff negatively just to get views. That's also so unhealthy.
Hmm. Okay. You move on to another type of fan base which we can roast.
I mean, K-pop.
What?
And speaking of K-pop, there's one man in particular who I would love to talk about today,
Who?
and he goes by the name
Oh
of
my
Ollie
god.
London.
Oh my god. 사랑해
Please don't
BTS.
him.
I love you, Jimin.
He spent over, if you guys don't know, he spent over £1 million in cosmetic surgery trying to look like the BTS guy, Jimin.
I just want to say he looks nothing like
And
Jimin.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say I didn't want to be the first one to say.
He looks
Wait, Eric,
nothing
can you
like Jimin.
translate?
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, hey, he said that there's this guy called Ollie London. He spent over £1 million or dollars on trying to look like this K-pop BTS this
Oh,
person named Jimin,
that
and
guy.
then yeah, he doesn't look anything like Jimin. He looks horrible. He actually looks significantly better when he wasn't doing plastic surgery.
Yeah, that's incredibly unhealthy.
That's a stan. That's definitely an example of a stan.
Yeah.
Over.
That's yeah.
Like, I think at the point it's called obsession and you need to stop.
He's not gonna stop. I
Hmm.
wonder if Jimin has a
yeah.
restraining order on him.
yeah,
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to.
I wonder
I
if
wouldn't blame
BTS
him.
actually know.
It's like the only person that could actually stop him is the one he follows.
The only way they could make it worse is if there's a Silence of the Lambs situation. Okay, well, so we were talking about Ollie London and basically the plastic surgery. I think that's definitely an example of like an extreme case of standing over someone
Mm-hmm.
because you're going above and beyond what you should be doing. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just, does that seem like wrong to anyone else?
Well, technically, they're not like hurting anyone, so does it
It's true.
actually count as?
The only person that hosting is themselves.
Well, I don't know. It's just like it's because like plastic surgery is like in many cases can be bad because like just like putting like transferring fat or like removing it, putting it somewhere else could like be dangerous in a way.
Yeah, but like they're not hurting
You're
anyone
not hurting
else.
anyone else, yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's not. Wait, is there a level above Stan?
Obsession.
I think obsession fits because obsession.
no,
was
no,
part of
I
it.
think no, I think above Stan is stalker.
Psychopath. Oh, okay.
Stalker.
Either way.
It's like because like I don't know because like the Stan, it's like I just don't like the people like they would like actually like risk everything just to like follow the influencer or the one they are
Yeah, I get
obsessed
that.
with. Yeah.
Okay, so while we're talking about like levels, should we then what is as simple as Stan?
Fan.
Like is it, like when we say that a simp is less than a Stan,
Oh yeah, definitely.
like above a fan.
Yeah.
Simp is definitely less than a Stan.
Bless. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Pokimane simp, sorry, Pokemon simp.
Pokemon.
Pokimane simp, then you're just donating money. You're not like doing any harm. But a Pokimane stan would be stalking them, looking at all their photos, and yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of creepy.
Mhm.
Like simping isn't creepy. It can be, but like standing is most of the time creepy.
Depends on the case, but yeah, it can be really creepy.
Okay, we're good. Anyways,
Pokemon simp.
Pokemon simp. So wait, what do we think of like what do we think of streamers who encourage simping? Are they the issue?
Encourage simping? Elaborate.
like what? Any example?
Okay, like
In
people
what
like
example?
you know that one streamer who said that if you're not willing to pay $3 to $5 to my channel,
Oh,
you should
Amanda
just get out.
Cerny.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that, if you're not willing to spend $3 just to sub to me, then you might as well just get a job and go away. Something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, that is horrible.
Are they
person.
the
Yeah,
issue,
that's
or is it the people that are the issue in that case?
both
I think it's
Mm,
just
they just-
streamer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
because like the streamer is encouraging it, which is a problem.
That's true.
But like it also like goes down to the person. But then if you're like, for example, if you're like just a little like younger, and they hear that from your like, favorite YouTuber or streamer, that's not good because he's young.
Well, actually, it
Like the
could be
kid's
good
young.
because it might keep you away from them. Maybe.
Could be,
Like,
but
is a
if you
kid
can't,
really gonna say like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this streamer, my favorite streamer, because she said this," or like, is a kid really gonna have the intellect to like
Yeah.
say otherwise?
True.
I've seen like some kids are like just go a bit far because like I really want to donate this much. And
I'll
then,
just
Oh wait, no, they're just stealing from their parents' wallets at that point.
yeah,
My
and
parents would
yeah,
never
Yeah,
let me
they're
do
gonna
that.
just
Honestly,
which is
okay,
why it's like
I don't mean for this to sound a bit harsh, but I don't think kids should be donating to streamers at that age.
I
exactly
don't think
Until
kids
they
should
get
be
a job.
watching anything at
until they
that
get
age.
shot.
I think it's okay. I think it's fine if they're like watching YouTube. But I don't think they should be like really donating a lot of money
Yeah, they
to
don't have-
streamers or
yeah.
anything, because they're just
Like
they're
if,
either
if it's like $5, then you know it's okay, but
Yeah.
not some massive amount.
yeah, like $100 in every stream, because either they're stealing from their parents
Mm.
or they're taking their savings and just spending it on a streamer when they could be saving up for something important.
Yeah,
College.
it's like streamers and like content creators. They're like already earning income just by streaming and like getting views and
Yeah.
such.
No, that's exactly why what that girl said was so controversial. I think did she get canceled, Niue? Niue?
Really?
Sorry. Lots of people made videos about her though, and she kind of went sort of viral on kind of Twitter and YouTube. Because I don't know about you, but Moist Critical, a YouTuber,
Yeah.
he made a video about her. So did a lot of other YouTubers,
Mhm.
just sort of talking about the situation.
Yeah.
This links back to the infamous fame.
So she did get backlash, which is good. But
Mm.
Yeah,
still, the fact that she's still running and encouraging like people just to spend money.
Look, this is just Twitch moderation. Okay, it's just bad.
Twitch is
This is why it's follow Discord. It's a better
wait, if
better
Discord
company.
did streaming, honestly, you know, I would support it completely. Discord sponsor us and we can save more.
Discord sponsorship.
We can completely, you know, we could become Discord streamers. You know, it could be kind of cool.
First ever Discord streamers? Question mark.
That'd be sick.
I mean, it isn't. I mean, technically, you can just stream Discord, stream whatever you're doing on Discord with like 1080p if you have
That's
Discord Nitro.
No, I think Twitch moderation is honestly horrible because, like, there's some examples where some stuff shouldn't be on there, and then it's not gotten rid of. If you guys catch my drift, and there's some stuff
Mm.
that should be allowed on there like if there's an accidental something that's innocent, then I think that's fine. But then it's just got banned, insta banned.
I think that the people working at Twitch are just simp.
Yeah, simps definitely. Although they
Yeah,
did
but, like-
did ban Pokemon from Twitch recently, which we talked
It
about.
was because of copyright
Yeah.
issues. It was like DMCA. But I think that's the problem with Twitch, because like Twitch is like allowing these sort of like, you could say, soft adult content with like these bathtub streams and
Hot tub
people
streams.
allowing to like, yeah, basically people allowing Twitch allowing like these people to show off their bodies and stuff. But then again, there's a lot that people are getting banned for such softer claims such as copyright.
Or
and-
accidentally not wearing a shirt while you're streaming.
Exactly, and it's just, yeah, there's an imbalance, you could say.
Yeah, I agree with that. And sometimes I feel like there's a slight gender imbalance in certain areas for both women and men in certain sectors. I don't know. I've seen some Twitch clips that I'm like, that should not be on Twitch.
Did
And
Alinity ever get banned?
she got banned for throwing her cat, but that was it.
Yeah, I was about to say, did she ever get banned for
I don't-
doing that?
I don't-
If she didn't, then that would be kind of.
I don't know if she
problem.
actually did, but she might have.
Good.
Neely, you
wait, who
you-
threw the cat?
Alinity. She's a famous Twitch streamer.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. who would
Needed
throw their
that.
cat?
Yeah.
I have no clue. Just happened.
I know she almost got banned for also trying to induce copyright infringements for nothing on YouTubers. For example, well, she decided to try and do that to PewDiePie, and yeah, that was a big mistake, honestly. I think she almost got canceled for that. Because she does that to a lot of smaller YouTubers. She gets some copyright infringements so she can get money from their videos.
Oh, that's just horrible.
They're just bad people. No
Yeah,
one.
it's-
Exploiting the system for their own.
Yeah. Okay, well, now that we've gone to our subtopic Twitch streamers, let's talk about something a little more mainstream, maybe.
So what back? So what? What's the
Anime.
last one? The standing. Well,
Anime.
I don't think anime stands like as
Okay,
in
they're kind. What about the people who marry anime characters?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I mean, this,
That
I mean,
guy.
this
Totally
goes
extreme.
like,
Hmm.
that's a fair point actually.
Because it's the definition is overzealous or obsessive fan of a particular celebrity.
But but are they a celebrity?
I would qualify them as celebrities.
Yeah.
Maybe not life
Mm.
like human celebrities, but they still qualify. I'd count it.
Like
Because
for
it's like
example, like
characters,
cartoons.
you know?
SpongeBob is a celebrity.
Plus,
Like
there's some people who take it
Yeah,
really
I mean-
overboard with anime. Like I have no issue with most of
Yeah.
it, but there's some people just take it over. Like they'll die for this one character just to touch them, and it's like Jesus Christ.
Isn't it like didn't Japan like invent something have like virtual reality marrying
Yeah,
anime characters?
yeah. It's okay.
I mean,
I'm not-
this is, but I mean, like technically, we really think it's not hurting anyone. So
it's not. I'm just saying it's weird.
yeah,
And
technically,
it qualifies technically as a stan definition, but to each to their own. A word Andy struggles with, or words I should say.
No, like I just when people say that, I didn't know it's like a phrase for a second
Hmm.
because like people said it so fast. But now I know. I get it. Okay.
but then would we consider like what a stan to be like someone that like hurts other people while being obsessive over
Well,
person?
stan doesn't
or, like-
necessarily hurt the person. They're just kind of creepy. Okay, let's go from the character's point of view. Let's say I was I don't really know any anime characters, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Let's say I was some character and some guy wanted to marry me in virtual VR and I was sentient. I think that's kind of creepy. I think that's very creepy. I would qualify that as obsessive or worse than a stan. But you're not harming it. But then again, they're virtual, so I guess I'll drop it down to a stan. I don't know. It's really complicated when it comes to characters that aren't technically real.
yeah,
Like it's not real. It's like doesn't hurt anyone. It's like it doesn't invade privacy because it's like a made up character. But it's still not good in a way.
It's still
for the person.
unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. Yeah.
Because I don't think there's anything wrong with like liking a character and be thinking they're your friend. Because I always kind of liked Ash Ketchum and Pikachu stuff, but I never really got too interested in that. But yeah, if I don't know, it's there's some fine lines. I think there's definitely stands in
Mhm.
anime though, or at least a different definition. I can't-
correct definition.
different.
You're starting to have my
definition.
problem, aren't you?
Oh God.
No.
Different definition.
Okay, the people who like just cosplay and never shower, they need to be stopped.
Those exist.
Yes.
Those
Those people who go to
Yes.
anime cons and they never shower and they they always wear the same cosplay and they smell horrible. They exist. In Comic-Con, I don't know if there's an anime con. It probably is. I don't know what it'd be called, but either way, and everywhere. It's just disgusting. They need to be stopped.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think that's like one of the rarer kind. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's very
Yeah.
unheard of.
I
I'm
feel
just
like
saying in general.
that's just like
That's just like
one
it's just like
person kind of
conventions
thing.
in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hygiene is important, people. Shower,
Mm.
please.
Yes.
Can't believe I need
Yeah.
to say that nowadays.
Hygiene's important.
Didn't we learn from medieval times when you don't shower, you get diseases and stuff? Like tons of bacteria, and nobody likes to hang around you because you stink.
Imagine
It's not.
promoting showering on a podcast channel. It's like-
The fact that I need to is sad.
Yeah.
Well, I guess okay, but then if we're talking about anime, I guess the somewhat closest thing to standing is like VTubers. Basically, like
Ooh.
people just people streaming with a virtual avatar, and
Okay.
they recently.
Okay, I'm
blown
gonna bring
up
up
in, like,
something
last year.
semi-controversial.
Mhm.
There's definitely something worse than a stan in anime. You know those kids that are 9,000 years old and people are attracted to them, even
Oh,
though they are
God.
kids? That is
Oh,
definitely
God.
worse than a stand.
Ah. Yeah.
I don't
The
want to
kids
say
are
that's
9,000 years old.
pedophilia, but
Yeah, that's
Ugh.
very odd. It's like,
creepy.
Well, yeah, but like, okay, yeah, age-wise, but I mean, character-wise, I don't know why they draw it like that, considering they're like 9,000 years
yeah,
old. But hey,
But I mean, they're not 9,000 years old. They're just trying to do that so they don't get in trouble. Clearly. Why do they even animate characters like that? Honestly, I blame a lot of stuff on the actual companies. Sometimes, like a lot of stuff, like there's this one anime that Moist Critical was talking about, where basically there was no point them being high schoolers. And there was a lot of sexualized content in there. They could have easily been adults, but they were high schoolers, which made it like really weird and creepy. And yeah, it's just kind of weird. Why?
But half the time, technically in Japan, that's legally allowed because their Asia consent's like what 16 or
It's still
something.
just weird.
Yeah, it is weird though.
You're watching 16-year-olds. Like I'm 16. If I was like 30 and watching that stuff, I'd feel so uncomfortable. I don't know. Anime's
I
complicated.
think like, yeah, anime is complicated.
There's a lot of
It's just
rules
like-
that don't apply, and there's a lot of rules that apply differently.
Yeah. But then it's not. I mean, there's always been like conflict or disagreement between age differences in anime.
It's true. Plus, there are people who take anime like too far. Like if you say you don't like a certain anime, and then some people are like, you have to die now, or they like, if you get one thing wrong, you're just disgraced forever.
Mm.
Like
Maybe
on,
it's a
on Twitch, for
pers-
example, I'm talking about other people's examples because I never talk about it for a reason, as we know.
What? Wait, what?
Huh?
Well,
Did
It-
it cut off?
What? I didn't cut off. I just stopped.
Oh.
Yeah, I just stopped. I stopped talking.
I was confused.
I thought you were gonna go on.
No, I did not feel like
Yeah.
Abruptly.
I did not feel like going on. I didn't feel like I needed to. I'll let Daniel and whoever else knows more about anime deal with this one a little more because I don't.
Me and Eric will sit out for this round.
I mean, you practically said everything about
Yeah.
it. It's just this kind of specific. Much more to discuss about it.
Yeah. I guess standing can't really. It's less plausible in anime because there's different parameters of
Yeah,
situations.
and then it's not exactly
But then-
really. You can't you're
But then
not
there's also
hurting anyone as
situations
well,
where it's
but-
both like two faults, and like the 9,000-year-old kid thing. That's why even do that? And I don't know.
Lore.
I don't know. It's
all
complicated.
for the lore.
But like they could make it an adult. I don't know.
I mean, like I guess they're trying to strive towards the chibi vibe, where like it's very famous in Japan. Is S.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Some stuff. It's just. Ugh.
We will never know. We will never know. Forever a mystery.
Well, what should we talk about now?
Can we go to the article I sent you?
Okay.
There's some examples of like bad.
Oh, sad cultures and healthy for celebrities and fans. So
Yeah,
it's by NT Daily.
by like North Texas Daily.
So some people say that Stan is a mixture of the words fan and stalker, which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why
Oh my
it's
God,
between them?
Okay, let's go to standing in like social media. I think the big three for standing in social media would definitely be Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter.
Mhm.
Or TikTok.
Twitter.
Actually, no, TikTok. TikTok can replace. I don't know.
YouTube.
Twitter can replace YouTube. Yeah, let's go. Let's make Twitter replace YouTube. I mean, yeah.
What?
Or, sorry,
TikTok replaced-
yeah, TikTok replace YouTube.
TikTok.
Sorry. Yeah. Jeez, my mind is just gone. Hey, what do we want to start off with? We already talked about Twitch, like for the most part.
YouTube. I mean, YouTube majority is. Oh yeah, we replaced YouTube. I meant. I don't go on
We can
TikTok
talk about
often,
let's,
so
let's just talk about we can talk about YouTube. Let's just talk about YouTube. I mean, okay. YouTube standing, it mostly happens in the comments, so it's not really seen as much. But
Like,
you do have
YouTube is
examples of like Dream, who was a YouTuber, and
yeah.
it's more of hidden because on TikTok you can see it's
Yeah.
just short videos and people generally scroll through the comments. While on YouTube you have to go through like sections and sections of comments, and the videos are normally longer, so people normally don't go through the comments.
Okay, while we're here
Mm.
about TikTok and people posting cringy stuff, can we just say like how do people have the confidence to post this kind of thing?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
happened to people being
no.
shy? I missed
Yeah,
those
like how do
days.
how where do they get this
What
confidence?
happened to
Is it-
introverted people? That's my question.
Alright.
No, okay,
If
some
they
people
don't
say
post.
no. The people who say I'm introverted and quirky and then can post a picture of them dressing as a cat, like in some really awkward situations, just looking at people, are not introverted and
Mm.
quirky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like as well, these same people who are also showing too much on YouTube are also teaching other people who are watching their videos the wrong
Oh
sort
my
of
God.
lesson.
Definitely.
Like let's take example of Nick Avocado.
Oh yeah.
He does a lot of mukbangs and eating videos, and not to be rude or anything, but he's the size of an elephant right now, and
He almost
it's
had a heart attack. He broke his
it's
ribs
caused
and
a
he couldn't get
yeah
up.
he was on oxygen for like
Yeah.
a few weeks because he severely injured like his ribs
Yeah.
because of how much he was eating, and
Doesn't he
I
blame
think
his
it's because
fans for that?
just it's just because of like I guess the obsession of making YouTube videos and like chasing the bag. You could say it's just kind of you could say it's almost brainwashing because he used to be quite healthy and you know, but yeah.
I agree.
Doesn't he like blame the fans for
Yeah,
that
for
reason why
encouraging.
he
I mean,
kept-
okay, to be fair, actually, it's
Yeah.
kind of the fans' fault though, as well. It's his
Yeah.
fault and their fault because he was really healthy in the beginning. Like he was fit and he was eating really healthily, and then fans kept on suggesting him to eat, and then they kept on saying eat more, and he wasn't getting mental health, and then he started crying in videos, and people just kept on encouraging him to eat more, and then yeah, it's kind of the fans' fault and him. It's a mixture, complicated situation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for him, yet I also feel like he did this to himself.
He could have stopped so long ago, but he didn't choose to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also those like, you mentioned like well, someone mentioned YouTubers who are like encouraging other kids. We can see that there's like another generation of really annoying kids. I don't know why they're so annoying. I don't know if that's just me, but I like they're copying the YouTubers that they see online, and they're acting extra. They're acting not like themselves. Like YouTubers don't act like themselves all the time. They only act like that on camera. Like normally they act normal, but then these kids are copying what they're doing, so they're constantly just like happy. I don't know, not acting like their normal selves, like their real selves, and I think that's emotionally unhealthy.
Like being 2 times more toxic than usual.
Yeah, they're definitely also more
Yeah.
toxic. And
Incredibly.
yeah,
It's like during some games, like just children started throwing insults and such.
Yeah.
Like not great at all.
and the content that kids have nowadays is a lot more vulgar than what I had as a kid growing up, for example, or what we had. Even though we're barely older than them, like we're like a couple, like 3 or 4 years older than one of like some of these kids, and yet our content was so much more different from what they had growing up.
And then it's like
After like people who were born after like 2005, 2006, just all went downhill, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I think it's because
No
YouTube and all that
offense.
stuff, like social media and the technology, just instantly increased. And by the time they were
Yeah.
like 5 or 6, when they started getting on this stuff, YouTube was already there.
Well, I think we were born the year where it was the least. I think we were one of the least toxic generation, like our year.
I know. Oh wait,
Yeah,
everyone
it's like-
hates Gen Z,
oh,
but they hate the younger Gen Z.
Cause like the people above, like before us, when they first like the old COD days, those were not fine.
Yeah, those were not. It's just people saying the N word and all that stuff online.
exactly.
Yeah.
That was not fine.
Our
also it's like,
generation was
oh,
chill.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like back to Dream. It's like his videos. It's like the screaming and stuff. It's like those are funny and then fine because they're just comedy. But then just like children like replicating it
Yeah.
and doing actual games.
It's not
is
This
not
like
okay
kids'
at all.
faults. I actually kind of mostly blame the adults in this situation because kids, they can't help that they replicate stuff. Like I used to
Like the
replicate my
adults,
parents when I was younger, because
it's like
you
yeah,
replicate who you look up to, and these
it's
parents
like
are
the
not
actors.
monitoring what these kids are watching.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't like YouTube Kids, but I get why it's there.
it's very understandable.
And
But,
kids should be on
let's be
YouTube
honest
Kids.
though. But let's be honest though, who really uses YouTube Kids as a kid? Like, let's say you're 8 years
I
old,
turned it
something
off
like that.
myself.
Like,
But what I'm saying is that young kids who aren't ready for all this social media should be watching that stuff. Like,
That is true, though.
you shouldn't have your 6-year-old son or daughter on regular YouTube.
That's very true.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think parents. There's a major issue. Like I think Gen Z should be split up in 2 different groups. There should be like Gen Z A and Gen Z B, because Gen Z B are the ones that are making Gen Z such a bad generation.
Gen Z.
Gen Z A are so chill. Like 2005. What is it? What does it go from?
It's basically like
isn't it like 2003, 2005?
2003. I think 2003 to 2006 are fine. Because
Yeah,
we are kind of a mixture of the millennials that were before us, but then we're also a mixture of a mellower version that are, I'd say, less less likely to be, well, racist, for example, in Call of Duty. But then we also know we're more mature and we know stuff that happened before. Like, for example, I hate it. I've mentioned this before. I hate it when people talk about how Netflix had CDs, and they're like, "Well, Gen Z doesn't know about this stuff." I knew about that stuff. That stuff exists. That stuff existed in my childhood, and yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like being associated with an annoying generation. I don't know about you guys.
I don't think I know like me. So I mean,
To be fair, every generation has gone through stuff like this. Like we have boomers,
yeah.
we
I
have
feel like
boomers, and the millennials.
I don't know, maybe in like 2-3 years time, maybe the current like the younger Gen Z would come to their senses and like actually be like normal human being, but
It's like just watches the younger kids go bad and is like, oh no, what have we done?
Okay, another issue is they're maturing too fast. They're learning stuff that they shouldn't know yet when they shouldn't know it. Like they're learning stuff now when they shouldn't know it yet. I remember when I was 9 years old, I barely knew anything. I was so innocent. And then
I was 9 years old. I knew a lot of things.
Okay, well, Daniel,
You're an exception.
you're an exception. I think most people when they're 9 years old, like at least in our timeline, don't know. We're kind of innocent, semi-innocent.
My friend told me everything.
Ah, that makes sense. There's always that one friend.
Okay. Yeah, it's too mature for the age.
But then nowadays, all these 9-year-old kids are just like, they're cursing or they know adult
Yeah.
content when they shouldn't know this.
Yeah,
stuff.
my goodness,
No, I
I've seen
think
so many
like
children.
no, but like I mean, even if you consider it, but back then, like when I was younger, I like those YouTubers that were cursing, like Sky Does Minecraft, like for example.
That's true, but that was like.
But
the
I think. Yeah, but I think it's just parent regulation. That's why
I
they
agree.
do not
Yeah,
do that quite often.
can I talk about this? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, go ahead, Eric.
You can go first.
Okay. So, look, you guys know this story, but viewers don't. So, I love playing chess. I play it a lot in my
Oh my
free
God,
time.
this story.
Oh wait, didn't he tell
I
the
think
story
he told
before?
this story before.
I told this story
Yeah.
on stream before.
he
I
did.
don't
Yeah,
remember. I thought he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
assume
know
he
about
did.
this.
yeah.
11-year-old.
You can tell Neil. You can tell Neil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell the story. Yeah.
Yeah, just tell.
So, I was playing chess, and then this guy, like, there's a chat system online and chess.com, not sponsored, but please sponsor us.
I mean, pretty good site, so honestly, I wouldn't mind. Just
Yeah.
sponsor us, please. Free diamond would be
Basically,
nice.
he asked me, am I a beginner? Like, I don't remember how long ago was this.
Oh, we saved it.
was
Oh
like-
God. Okay, I gotta go back. to
This was like a year ago, I think. Yeah, around a year ago, he called me. He said, "Are you a beginner?" Which I didn't think much of. Like, I was like still like learning
Found
the
it.
game.
Found it.
I wasn't terrible.
Yes. Are you a beginner? And you said, I'm 11 years old, playing for 2 months. You suck. POS. Your flag says it all. And it's a South Korean flag. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just wow.
And then I replied, "Well, that's kind of racist." And then he says, "I had 5 minutes left. You sorry."
You sorry, MF. You can make you know
MFER.
stuff from the.
If you're old enough, you should be knowing. Actually, even if you're not old enough, you probably
okay.
know it. But
Mother trucker, dude, that hurt like a butt cheek on a stick. If you, yeah, stuff like
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's an old line, yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
God damn.
but yeah,
Okay, so what I was, that's.
it was a chess site.
Yes,
It
and an
wasn't just-
11-year-old.
shows how-
Who would have known?
Village
I mean, who would have
game.
known?
No, it
Who would
shows
have
how
known?
easy
It's a
kids get
chess
mad.
site.
It shows how
Of-
easy kids
Oh,
get mad.
please.
Like how easily they get mad nowadays. How easily I think all this technology is making kids so much more mad than like when I was a kid. I was happy. I wouldn't get mad very often. I was chill. Then these kids nowadays have no chill at all. They have no chill.
Mhm.
Jesus. But I think going back to like the parents should be monitoring and stuff. It's not these companies' duties to be watching your kid. They are not a babysitter. They are out there for money. They're not out there to care about your children. That is your job as responsibility as a parent. I understand if you don't have much time, but parents have managed it in the past. If they can manage it with the Black Plague going around the whole world, then I think you can manage it with YouTube.
I
Exactly.
mean, to be fair, there's the COVID pandemic right now.
okay,
Wear your mask,
That's just people
everyone.
being
But it's
idiots. That's just people being idiots.
yeah. I don't.
Natural selection.
Very-
No,
yeah.
that's a comment.
But I think what you say is true with like the whole sort of monitoring like what your kid uses. Like I was 13 when I got my first actual like private mobile phone and stuff,
I was
and
around
my
that
own
age, too.
laptop.
Yeah, I was around that age. too.
So yeah, and
I
then
think that's a
like
healthy
before
age.
then I was just very like, you could say very innocent, and but then after like accessing lots of internet stuff and like finding out what's really there, it can easily change someone on how they see how
But
they
I
view
mean,
things
that's like
in the world.
that's not a bad thing. It's good to be able to learn about this stuff and explore, but you have to be past a certain age range. I think. to
Yeah, it's
do
not
that.
bad, but like
I think 13
yeah,
or 14
obviously
is a decent age to start learning about stuff.
because younger people, like talking about like 9 to 10-year-olds, something like that, people like us who are a lot older than that, we understand morals a lot easier than younger kids.
Yeah,
So kids don't really understand like morals of life really, and how
and like they have a
the
lack
world goes
of,
round.
They also have like a lack of understanding of what's going on in the internet, so they can misinterpret it and take like actual advice from it.
Yeah.
While we have more of a we have more of an understanding of what we should believe and what we shouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think handing your kid an iPad when they're like 7 and just letting them do whatever they want is really unhealthy. If you set like a timer on it and give them like apps they can be on, then that's fine. But then past a certain age, you should give them the freedom of being able to do what they want on their device because that's their privacy. That's what they want. Andy, I'm sorry. Andy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's a personal attack on you.
Well, no, it's not really a personal attack. It's just like, yeah, it's like having the control and like mediate things is really good, but then like not like extreme.
Yeah.
Just like where you like every single detail.
Yeah, and okay,
Like-
I know
Yeah.
you're are you 17? You are, because you're 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
17,
2004.
yeah.
Yeah, you're 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 17.
old.
You're in one
old
year,
like
you're
me.
going to be an adult. So I think it's fair for you to have your own personal freedom on a device. Just looking from afar. I'm not judging anything. I'm just saying. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, my parents give me my personal freedom on my device. Maybe like a little bit too much, but it's not necessarily bad. I do slightly abuse it. I play a lot of games.
Same. My parents used to give me like they time me. I can play like an hour per day.
Yeah, same. But That's also
And
not
I'll
a
be
bad
like,
thing, because we do need to learn this
Mhm.
someday when our parents aren't going to be around. We need to learn how to use this stuff and be able to monitor our own time.
mhm.
Our years, our
Mhm.
early teen years and our early 20s are for us to be able to learn about ourselves.
Yeah. You actually like learn
Yeah.
things about yourself
Yeah.
instead of like learning things from other people.
And I think in like the 10 year like when you're like 10 years old, you're just copying what your friend does or copying what people you see do. And then when you get like to you pass 15, you start like learning about yourself, and in your early 20s that's when you really start to develop, and then when you're in your 30s you're like yourself. That's the way I think about it. Maybe a little earlier than 30s. But yeah, either way, it's all about finding yourself, and giving your child a device is just going to encourage them to do just copy more
What
and not
other
be able to
people?
actually
Yeah.
become their own person.
Yeah. No individuality.
Yeah, I don't know. And businesses aren't looking for robots to copy everyone.
Unless you're going into manual labor, well, then that's another story. But that
That's true.
doesn't pay you a lot, so
Yeah.
I don't recommend.
Okay, you want your child to have a good future with a good college, and you need to encourage them to be able to find more about themselves. But then also, from a young age, you should restrict them. You should be able to be involved with them and teach them the right and wrongs yourself, not from some YouTuber who wears a beanie and has a RGB keyboard.
RGB keyword.
Not hating on anyone that has that. I'm just saying that it's not your job to parent them. It's the parents' job. It's not your fault. It's just the parents. I think the next generation of parents is really gonna suck.
I can't imagine like me or most of my friends becoming parents and having children.
I think there will be less and less parents out there.
Yeah, I think less
I
people
feel
want
like
to get
people will
married.
start
There are, yeah.
giving up on children and focusing on like work, I guess.
It's not a bad thing, but we need. Well, right now I think it's a good thing that we start losing a population. But in the future, we're gonna need children. Like we still need it's more about the lifestyle that people need to start living in to be able to mature properly. I'm not saying that they should have children, like as an obligation. It's obviously their choice, but when you're encouraging someone to just copy someone and be immature their whole life, and they're obviously, when they have the chance, they're not gonna have children because of what their lifestyle was. Giving them the opportunity to make that option themselves is just being a human, and denying them that is not giving them their fair human rights. I feel bad for children nowadays. Like I hate them sometimes,
Yeah.
but I feel bad for them sometimes.
We just need to give them time to mature, I think, because like right now as kids, like we were all kids one time in our lives, and we were quite reckless with our lives.
Nearly as annoying as they are.
Yeah, but we were all sort of
But like,
reckless at one point.
but when will they even mature though? You look at TikTok and like half of it, it's like people who are older than.
Yeah,
doing-
people that are older than us doing cringy crap.
That's their problem,
Or
I
Right.
guess.
stealing from stores.
That's also
Yeah.
their problem, I
Or
guess.
stealing sinks from schools and hiding in whatever that challenge was
Oh
called.
yeah.
Oh, hitting a devious
Oh.
stick.
Yeah,
Oh, that trend is
yeah.
bad. So many issues.
We're gonna have a future of clout chasers. That's what we're gonna have.
That's what we already have. Like
Yes, but
even
it's
during
only
Yeah.
gonna
the
get worse.
pandemic,
It's only
it's-
gonna get worse.
yeah.
People are gonna go back and look at old videos and copy from that in the future. I bet in 10 years' time or 12 years we'll have another devious like challenge thing going on.
Can I mention something? And this is completely unrelated, but it's kind of relating to like the I'm just contradicting myself.
Just go ahead, do what you
So-
want.
So there's this video online. I think it was TikTok
Mhm.
or it was Instagram Reels or something like that. Or YouTube Shorts. There's so many different variations of TikTok.
I
these
really
days.
don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
so basically, there's this TikTok video calling. You guys know the iPod Nano, right?
Of course.
No,
Oh
about
my
the
god!
iPhone
I think
Nano.
with the haircut
Oh.
thing. I think
Yes,
with the haircut
I
thing.
am talking
Oh
about the
my
haircut.
god! That
Not
made me so
everywhere.
mad. That made me so mad.
Wait, what? I don't know about this.
Oh, okay, Nick,
So
I'll let you
it-
explain. Yeah.
So there's this video like online where this like I think she's like around I want to say like
13.
middle school. Yeah,
She looks to be
around
13
like
or 14 or something.
primary, high primary, low middle school or like secondary. Like finds an iPod Nano, like in like one of like I'm guessing like her parents' like house or like in one of the drawers, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then she finds it and she records herself calling this iPod Nano a hair clip.
And she's like, "What the heck is this thing? A freaking hair clip?" And then she puts it in her hair and
It's
ties up
like
her hair
an-
with it.
wow.
She calls it an Apple hair clip.
Oh wow.
I mean, he's probably saying it as a joke, to be honest. But hey,
Yeah, but
It's
you never know.
terrible.
You never
She
know.
put the hashtag vintage quote on the bottom.
Oh my lord.
I remember when the iPad Nano came out.
Same.
iPad Nano.
iPod. Oh my god. Wait,
Oh,
iPod Nano. iPod Nano. iPod Nano. Okay, I can speak now. iPod Nano came out. I remember that age. That was a good day. I remember when the original iPad came out. That was a good time as well.
I remember I had an iPod and I spilled milk on it and it died. Really sad.
I think I
That's
still
like
have
great.
the original iPad.
It was like
Like,
when I
in
was
my room.
5 and I was like watching like Tom and Jerry or something and I spilled milk on it and then it died and I was really sad. The things in
think
life you can't forget.
I think I still have the original iPad,
I
like
sold mine.
in my room. Like,
The
you know,
original
like the one
iPad,
without
like-
the one without like Touch ID and that. I think
Yeah,
I still
I
have.
sold
no,
mine.
wait. I know. I saw like an Instagram like story. No, story. I don't know. Instagram reel question mark. It's like someone showed the original iPad and then their whole comment section was saying it's fake because it doesn't have a camera, but that's the original iPad.
Bruh. It's fake. It doesn't have a camera. The
God damn.
original
Yeah.
iPhone. I don't even know if the original iPhone. The original iPhone had like 144p camera.
Yeah, it didn't have a front-facing camera either. It was
It
just
didn't have a, it didn't
one
have
side.
like a light on it either, like flashlight.
Yeah, it's just
Barely
it's just an
anything.
iPad.
There's like 7 apps
Yeah.
you can do on the original iPhone.
No, but if you think about it, like I feel like Apple has gone backwards partially. They start taking out everything from the box and then they start changing the ports so you have to buy new stuff. So like,
That's true.
what's the point?
Yeah.
Plus they went back to
They're
the
just trying to
smart
make
thing.
profit.
I really
I mean,
liked
I
it
just
when they
want more
put
money.
earphones.
But like,
Like just puts earphones. It's like yes, nice earphones.
But a lot of
yeah,
companies
like
are
they used to
copy-
give like
But every company
Yeah.
copies from them though. You can look at Samsung. They made fun of it originally. Then they just copy it immediately.
mark because they want
Yeah.
more money.
I know, but
Greedy.
it's just
Greedy.
judgy. Like I get Apple. Apple's trash, but then these companies that are making fun of it and then doing the exact same are worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like Apple actually like upgrades their iPad eventually.
Their iPad's sick now. I'm not gonna lie, their iPad is
Yeah.
actually really good.
Pretty good, yeah. Incredibly productive too.
I think everything's just overpriced though. Like,
It is.
I'm not gonna be
It's
spending $1,200 on a new iPhone.
Although you
I
can go
bought
back
Like,
to
unless I'm rich. Like, unless I can actually be rich and afford
Or
it.
unless it's finally time for a change. You had your old phone for like 4
Yeah.
years, and you're like, yeah. Because I bought a new phone recently, and it's more. And if I went to if I compared to buying it like a good gaming laptop or a decent one, as what Eric said, it's more. My phone is more expensive than that laptop. If I
But
were
you
to
could
get
you could pay rent for a new iPhone. Like, literally,
Yeah.
it's that
Yeah.
expensive.
To be fair, if we do go back to 1980s, computers were more expensive than they are nowadays.
Exactly. And they were like
That's
big,
That's
chunky
very true.
for like a couple megabytes.
So I think we're just going in a loop where basically things become expensive and they become cheaper, then they become expensive again.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, it's like the Intens where people like sold like it's like RTX 3090s for like so long, like
Yeah.
expensive like $10,000 stuff.
Mhm.
And then like the 4090s come out in a cheaper price. It's just slap on everyone's
It wouldn't
face.
surprise me if that happened, honestly.
I know, I was expecting that to happen. I'm like, these idiots are like not gonna see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing is, so the only reason a price would increase is because of the company. Because as we advance in technology, stuff becomes cheaper to produce.
Yeah.
Unless we have a lack of
Yeah,
resource.
more exploitation of people in China.
Very true.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't done a random topic time today.
Oh, we talk about Uno. Uno new cards.
Right.
Ah.
So, like recently, like Uno tweeted they're like a new 2020 Uno card pack, and you're gonna have new cards inside. And like, I feel like, I mean, I think it's a good change.
There's one
finally.
toxic card that's gonna ruin so many.
Yeah. Okay.
features.
So the tweet from Uno was basically, we told you 2022 was gonna be wild, introducing a few new cards: the Wild Target +2, the Wild Swap Hands, the Wild Double
Oh,
Skip,
I've seen
the Wild
this.
Skip, and the
Oh,
Wild Reverse.
The wild
I think
target
Metaphors
plus
have
two.
it.
The wild target plus
Yeah,
two
the
is
Wild
gonna
Target +2.
kill
It's
so
gonna
many
ruin
friendships.
But wait, if you think about it, wait, because like, okay, in the original Uno game, the card game, they don't say you can stack cards, right? But if we play by the rules that we all generally come to accept, not by the normal Uno rules, we can stack cards. And do you think that if you had a +2 and you stack the target +2, you can send the thing to anyone you want?
And then the other person can stack another one on top of that and send it to anyone they want. So it's a +4.
No. So let's say you play a regular +2, right? And then, okay, let's say I play one, and then you have a +2 target. Then let's say you play it, but then next after you, but since you play the target one, you send it to Andy. So the Andy
Wait,
+4
you
instead
can
of
play a
Nick.
wild card on top of anything though.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
it's a wild target +2,
I
but
think-
it's not a
yeah, that
regular
should-
+2.
Yeah, that should be
No,
a
it's just
target
saying
+4
that's
though.
saying how bad, like, it could get really bad. let's say there was like in total, let's say Nick played a +2 and you play a +2 and I play a +2, and then since it's your turn, you play the target +2, so it becomes +8, but you get to select who it goes to.
Yeah,
This is targets the one who started the chain
There's
reaction.
a worse thing you could do. If you get one person, you team up with them, and you have like 4 target +2s together. You just keep stacking onto each other, and then send it to wherever you want to. You can just do that.
But do you think that target +2 can stack on regular +2 or no?
They should.
Probably.
You see, imagine if you're like a +8, and then someone puts a target +2 and sends it to someone they hate or something, and then they just +10.
Yeah, they
for no
should. They
reason.
should just send it to someone who started chain reaction.
I don't know. Does that work?
I hope so.
Because you can't put a reversal on top of a +2, and does it count as a different card? Because it's the same card, but it's
then-
different.
It's still the same card. All you're just doing is
The
targeting someone.
There's a
It's
new
target.
card. It's called the Wild Target +2. Yeah, but I guess it'll be a different card.
But it's
But
called
I mean,
a
it
wild
depends on
card.
but it depends on how we would play it, though.
And it's called
Yeah,
a
it depends on
wild,
how we play it, yeah.
wild target +2. Wild makes it
That's
so you can
true.
play it on top of any card.
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
can you
I'm
play it on
saying
top of
that, like,
+4? No.
I know,
No,
I
if it's
know.
a
No,
plus
just
2,
go
definitely
to
no.
the +4 +2 rule, and then I hate the stacking of that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the stacking +2 +4 is like
True.
It's just bad rule. Okay.
they're continuous, and then someone gets like 16 cards. Like, oh,
It'd be fun if someone made like a Uno D&D game. Where basically you get
How
a
would
random
that
chance to
work?
get a card. No, because you could do that nowadays. It becomes attack power instead. So basically, you get bosses, and then you get random cards, and you can pull out a dice for how many cards you can get. So you can have like a 6 die, and then you can roll.
Dungeons
roll
and
6, you
Dragons
get-
will be cool, but like the fact that someone has to host it and plan everything is too hard.
No, but they have computer generated Dungeons and Dragons nowadays.
Really? I could
Yeah.
try it
Yeah.
someday, maybe.
It's not bad. Or you could just play Skywalk. I mean, oh my god. Oh my
Skywalk.
god. Oh, Skyrim.
It's a
You
weird
could play
connection with
Skyrim.
Minecraft, though.
You could just play Skyrim.
Skyblock.
You can just play Skyrim, and then you get the whole experience. Oh god.
A while ago, when Eric was
not
like
having a
something
good
in
day.
Seoul,
Yeah,
Yeah,
t-
today
it's
hasn't been
really
the best for
dark
you,
though.
has it?
It was a good day until now.
Uh,
Like, we should go
Can't
back to
speak.
play Uno. Like the Christmas special Uno
We
was
need to get
fun. I should
actual
play it again.
Uno. That Uno game was really.
It's good.
I don't like it though. I don't like the buttons.
That's
Yeah.
because you lost like every game.
No, I don't see the buttons when I see them. I just don't see them. I just like. I like put a card down. I'm like, huh? Do I press Uno or not? And then I don't know where to press. It's just, ugh.
Maybe we told you what the first.
Maybe I'll buy you guys
Yeah.
all Uno and we can just play Uno together.
Sure.
I mean,
I
mean,
you can buy
maybe we can have an IRL Uno for recording someday.
Oh lord.
Oh god. That has to be like before after Corona though. Not gonna lie.
I mean,
I want to do. Wait, we can do Dungeons and Dragons together. I could actually be a dungeon master because I've done Dungeons and Dragons, like a lot of it.
Ooh.
I mean, there's like Discord bots which support that, like roll the dice and stuff.
Mm-mm.
Do you guys have?
No.
Well, do you guys actually have dice?
What do
No,
you mean, do I
but
have
there's
a
a
dice?
there's a Discord bot that allows you to like just roll like a
Uh,
20-sided
It's
die
just not
and it
as
helps
good
you.
as. It's just not as good as a. God, a good set of dice.
You can steal one from math class.
I have 2 sets, so I could give one my actual plastic set, and I could keep my metal ones.
You can steal one from math class.
Me and Daniel
20-sided
sit
die.
right next to the dice.
No,
dice
why don't
drawer.
they have Dungeons and Dragons as CAS? Or sorry, enrichment.
I'm pretty sure they did at some point.
But nobody played it, I think.
Yeah, I think no one
Nobody was
played it.
interested.
We should do it. We should do it again. Honestly,
I mean, you can host it though if
I
you're
wouldn't
13
mind
and
hosting
you,
it. I wouldn't mind hosting it.
but you don't have to. Wait, then you can do. Then wouldn't that become a service as well? Hosting, EC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Posting, yeah.
Okay, well, I think this is enough for our topic time, and we've gone into an hour and 11 minutes. I think this is a good, decent time to wrap up. Maybe potentially we could play Dungeons and Dragons in one of our podcasts in the future. Who knows?
Should play Uno again and then make Eric lose every game.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I have good RNG.
Look, I'm pretty sure like the whole hand was non-power cards.
No, but for the last
Like,
couple
what-
games, I did really well. I just got them messing
Yeah,
up.
but the first few games, like your whole hand was just like non-power card. I watched the video and it was just like just a whole like 9 cards of no power cards, and it's like okay,
It was
wasn't
terrible.
kidding.
It was terrible.
And then you kept on getting +4, +2.
But then I screwed it up. Yeah.
Mhm.
I need to be quicker next time. Anyways, you guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
time to end it.
thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed our video about sand culture and yeah, why we hate the younger generation. Just kidding. We don't mind you.
Sometimes you can
sometimes,
be annoying
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
And yeah, we hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Neely, for guest hosting on such short notice, especially.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Woohoo!
hasta luego, senoritos. I'm sorry, that was on purpose. That was on purpose. Okay, that wasn't actually. Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.